Today, I want to teach you that skilled writers about reading don't just have one way to travel through a text. They don't think, I'm going to make my usual character map or whatnot. Skilled readers, like skilled skiers, adjust to the terrain. They write in ways that help them tackle the challenges that the text poses. Skilled readers ask themselves, what are the challenges one encounters when reading this story? Then, they set out to write in ways that will help them wrestle with the hard parts. That means instead of looking over one's colored pencils and surveying a wall full of charts about reading and thinking, what would be cool to do today? Readers instead read a bit of their text and then ask themselves, what's going on in this story or with the characters that seems confusing or complicated? How can I do some writing to help me think about that? Let's think about this in relation to the stolen party. Think about Rosara and the party, about the relationships and themes, about the lessons. And this time, think about something that's particularly complicated in this story. So, one thing that is complicated about the story is that when Rosara is serving the hot dogs, even though she is thrilled with her job, I kind of had an uneasy feeling about it. Readers worry about this even though Rosara is blissfully happy. So, think more about whether there are other things in the story. Some we saw while reading this story, and some we may have missed. Clues that Rosara isn't seeing the brutal truth. So let's reread and this time really notice how Rosara responds to invitations to pass out the hot dogs and how you respond. Right now, reread the text to get some ideas. Did you have any uneasiness when she was asked to pass out the hot dogs? Did she? What makes you think that? Pause the video so you can reread the story. So you might be thinking that there were other times in this story when Rosara responds to things one way. And at least now that we know how the story ends, we respond another way. So this means that as writers about reading, we'd be wise to figure out a plan for how writing can help us to think long and hard about this. For example, maybe as we reread a story, we should make a timeline tracing what happens. In this case, showing how Rosara feels about it, perhaps by graphing her emotions. And then how we as readers feel about the same thing, perhaps by adding post-its of our reactions all along the graph. Writers, I hope you're seeing that when you go to write about reading, often there are ways in which a text is complicated, and thinking about that can help you to think about a way to use writing to wrestle with something important and complicated about the text. Now it's your turn. Go back to the lesson platform for your next activity.